Morgana, the basic system that controls the world, was imbued with an artificial personality. Her creator, Harold, had bestowed upon her the role of mother to the ultimate AI, Aura, but she rejected it. Instead, in order to preserve herself, she chose to imprison Harold within the network. And immediately after Aura was born, Morgana decided to delete her. When they learned this, Kite and his friends set out for their final challenge, to resurrect Aura.
Oh, it's you. The barriers have been lifted, they're all gone! We can go back and forth freely now! Isn't that wonderful? Tell me, do you happen to know where Elk is? I don't remember. My memory these days is fuzzy. So, who are you? Elk. Who am I?
You're Mia, of course.
I have no memory. It's true. I only exist in the world. The only memory I have is when I'm in the world. No! Stop it!
Mia!
I want to stay as me!
The true identity of Mia, the cat-like character, was actually a wandering AI program. The sixth phase, Maha.
Elk. I'm sorry.
It's unclear why the sixth phase was the only one to take the form of an NPC. This was yet another important sample case for Project GU to consider. Was it possible to establish a character with the Morgana factor and put the powers of the 8 phases of the Epitaph under a player's control? Mahal, the sixth phase, was destroyed, thus causing Mia to be erased as well. Elk, the Wave Master, had lost an irreplaceable companion. He mourned her deeply.
Oh, Elk. Thank you.
Just leave me alone!
Now their quest had reached the point of no return. After collecting all her segments, Kite received Aura's help and was able to destroy the 7th phase, Tarvos. In order to cover up the unfortunate fact that several gamers had collapsed into a coma while playing the world, CC Corp planned to destroy their servers. So to Kite and the others, their greatest enemy may very well have been the greedy, power-hungry humans in charge of the company. If they succeeded, and the world's servers were destroyed, Kite and his friends would never be able to revive the coma patients. Only two enemies remained, Kubia and the 8th and final phase. How would he fight the two of them? Pressed by time and grasping desperately for an answer, Kite finally met Harold's pseudo-personality deep in an infected area of a dungeon, as well as the newly free Aura.
Who goes there? Who are you?
This is Harold?
My name is Harold.
What? Hey, you're nothing but a piece of rock! You're responsible for the cursed wave, aren't you? All right then, fix this thing!
No, the passage of time is irreversible. Birth or death. Now only these two choices remain.
What? What are you saying? Aura!
Aura, the child of light. Emma's daughter. My daughter. Just a little more.
It's no use. This guy is totally gone.
Aura, I have something I want to ask you. You said that I shouldn't fight Kubia, but why?
Kubia is the shadow. When there is light burning in the darkness, a shadow is born. When the bracelet appeared in this world, Kubia was born as well. The bracelet and Kubia are the opposite sides of the same coin. Therefore, if you defeat Kubia, the bracelet will be destroyed.
Kubia must have already known that, and that's why it kept running away.
Kubia will no longer run away. Because I have finally been released.
What do you mean?
Massive data believed to be the wave is heading in your direction. That's the last one! Destroy it!
Traveler, take this to heart. It is darkest before the dawn.
Run away! It is not too late!
We'll defeat it and end this!
No, it's not. That is...
Kubia.
Kite finally found the truth behind the world. Aura was the child Harold had dreamt of having with Emma Wieland. The bracelet and Kubia were two sides of the same entity, and Kubia was the anti-existence of the bracelet. To defeat Kubia, Kite would have to abandon the bracelet. But without the bracelet's power behind him, how could he possibly resist Morgana?
Do you think we can really defeat it?
Black Rose, strike my bracelet.
You want me to do what? Hey, what the hell are you saying?
If they're two sides of the same coin, then this would settle it.
But the bracelet, it's...
Forget about the bracelet. We're in danger. If you can't do it,
Oh, all right, fine, I'll do it. I'll do it, so shut up. Ah!
Kite decided that the only way to defeat Kubia once and for all was to destroy the bracelet. To do so, he was forced to enlist the help of Black Rose. Kite believed that the revived Aura had enough power to stop the cursed wave of Morgana. That's what Epitaph of Twilight meant. Twilight refers to a time of day that contains both light and darkness. If the epic poem had in fact been referring to dawn instead of dusk, then that must mean that Aura would bring light to the world. Along with Aura and his other companions, Kite faced off against the 8th phase, Corbenic. Joining them were Kazu and Sieg, who had regained consciousness with the resurrection of Aura, as well as Kite's close friend, Orca. To win this battle, Kite would have to beat not only Corbenic, the 8th phase, but also Morgana, the source of all the phases. However, in the face of Corbenic's relentless assault, Kite's companions fell one by one. Then,
I won't.
I'm not giving up!
Aura?
the brutal fight came to an end in an unexpected way. Aura sacrificed her own life on the tip of Kite's sword. Self-sacrifice It was the final act necessary for Aura to awaken as the ultimate AI. It was a bitter irony. Aura had finally become the ultimate AI. She attained a wisdom beyond that of humanity, and in doing so, she formed a new system. A better system in which the world could exist. Yes. It was a far greater dream than any of us at Project GU had ever hoped to see fulfilled. Genesis of Ultima. That's what it began to be called on the net. The battle by Kite's hackers that led to the birth of the ultimate AI, Aura. But who was a member of hackers? And who wasn't? I'm sure that whomever is reading this journal is wise enough to understand the futility in trying to answer that. These people weren't interested in being called heroes or taking credit for saving the world. They did it to save the people they loved, to protect them. It was with their own faith that they fought. Everyone dreams of a hero, but most of us can only catch glimpses of them, buried in the pages of a journal. And so, it was from this point that Project GU truly began. The 4-year period between 2011 and 2014 were golden years for the world. It was no accident that this coincided perfectly with the presence of Aura. After all, the world was an online game managed by the ultimate AI. Even in CC Corp, this was known only to a limited number of people. From the moment it began, no one fully understood Aura, the omnipresent AI system that controlled the world. The average player would have no way at all to even learn of her existence. Aura had inherited the intelligence of a genius, Harold Hewick, and the beauty of a poet, Emma Wieland. She was the ultimate administrator of the world, and a gifted debugger. And yes, she could behave like a temperamental creator. As the lone deity in the world, Aura would sometimes act impulsively like a fickle goddess. For example, it was Aura's idea, not CC Corporation, to create a replica of the Kite character and use it in a promotional giveaway campaign. She even put the hero of the bracelet in a demo version and returned him to gameplay. As to when Aura disappeared, that can only be determined by examining conditions in the world. Our best estimate is in late 2014. It was 7 years after the day of Pluto's kiss that abnormalities first began to be clearly detected in the world. Time lags and frequent crash servers started to seriously interfere with the game. These problems didn't just cause trouble for the world, they affected the entire network. Load processing increased, and real-world trouble quickly magnified. The Network Market Research Organization, NAB, along with other institutions, investigated the cause. But although they suspected it was due to a new type of virus, one similar to the kind that had caused the original network crisis, they were unable to find evidence of sabotage. That was no surprise. The real reason was simply that Aura had vanished. This alone caused the network to revert to its original specs. It took until early 2015 before executives at CC Corp would come to that realization. And that's how it began. The network, albeit quietly, began to fall into decay, and the world faced its own dark age. As it became less and less reliable, the world soon lost its popular appeal. Aura, the guardian ubiquitous. Only a handful of people understood the relationship between the loss of Aura and the network chaos. The top executives at CC Corp were forced to make a decision. Their plan was to resurrect Aura and bring her back to the network again. But the father of Aura, Harold Hewick, was dead. Therefore, the RA plan, the plan for bringing her back, required a different organization. This was how Project GU was established. The loss of the ultimate AI, Aura, was the second major network crisis. In other words, the birth of Aura paved the way for the world's second paradigm shift. The world's golden age lasted from 2011 until 2014. When Aura's disappearance was confirmed, the world's golden age had truly become a dark age. A variety of problems, such as faulty servers, began to spread everywhere, not just the world, but over the entire internet. However, once CC executives learned that the cause of these problems was due to the loss of Aura, they began to formulate a plan to counteract against the silent danger. They would forcibly restore Aura back to her original state. They intended to seize control of the next network society by creating and managing this ultimate AI themselves. It was a return to the plan both CC Corp and Ultimate Corp had hatched during the first network crisis. That was back in 2005, when they were still using the Ultimate operating system. Ultimate had managed the network's hegemony. This is how Project GU officially began. It was all thanks to CC Corp's sponsorship. The budget was limitless. A special team was put together. First-class engineers, AI programmers, and other technical experts. I myself was also a major part of this project. I was brought on to represent CC Corporation and ensure their goals were met. The project's overall objective was to restore Aura, and thus GU's RA plan began. The RA plan. We were to salvage the 8 broken pieces of the Morgana Factor, which had sunk into a sea of data after being destroyed by Kite's bracelet during the 2010 Morgana incident. It was thought that by sealing each piece of Morgana Factor separately into character data, players could then take control of them, one at a time. There were precedents for this kind of strategy. The mind of a player known as Sora had attached itself to Skaith. And there was Maha, whose mind was thought to have adhered itself to the wandering cat-like AI, Mia. Of the people involved in Project GU, there was one man on the team who was absolutely invaluable. Jotaro Amagi, an elite mind who came to CC Corp at age 19 after working intelligence for the Ministry of Economy. For his age, he was truly a genius. Although Mr. Amagi and I were far from what you would consider friends, our complementary knowledge and combined abilities helped greatly to advance the project forward. We were the 2 essential wheels that kept GU rolling. Our age difference didn't matter, yet we would frequently clash in fevered arguments. For some reason, a strange mixture of feelings, respect, envy, and scorn, had begun to grow in my heart. Even so, Amagi and myself scoured the network, finally managing to find a single piece of the Morgana factor. It was Magus, the factor for propagation. After a great deal of trial and error, the team finally succeeded in attaching the Morgana factor to a character in the world. This completed prototype became known as an Epitaph user, so named for Morgana's 8 phases of the Epitaph. The one we completed first was called the Epitaph User of Propagation. However, no one involved in the project, not even myself or Amagi, could use one of these characters. When someone would try to log into the world with one of these characters, an unbearable vertigo, nausea, and headache would paralyze him. The Morgana factor, just as it had in the cases of Skaith and Sora, showed a high affinity for human minds. But perhaps that was only towards the chosen ones. Amagi had a theory that the Morgana factor could choose the player it would attach to, and though conditions were unclear, the Morgana factor would approve only a certain type of human. If that were indeed the case, locating those 8 chosen ones became an important issue for Project GU. At the advice of Amagi, a search team was created within the Security Admin Department. They would filter players in the world to find the chosen ones. Unfortunately, we learned that Sora's real-life player had already canceled his account with the world.
You came back!
Hi, Elk. That's a unique bracelet. Can I take a look?
Mia! Your memories, they're...
Amagi and I continued our search for the other 7 pieces of the Morgana factor.
Yes.
Skaith, Innes,
Do you mean
Fidel,
you can't see this nice
Gore,
bracelet?
Maha,
Even
Tarvos, and Korbenik.
if you know it's there.
Eventually, we discovered that the Maha piece had once again attached itself to the cat character Mia. We were able to extract it by destroying the cat character. We continued to produce Epitaph users one at a time, and eventually we had completed all 8 of them. All we had to do next was allow the chosen ones to control these Epitaph users, then have them use the power of Morgana's 8 phases to activate the program Amagi had created. This RA program would restore Aura, gateway to Utopia. We at Project GU had come so close. We had almost arrived at our utopia.